How's it going? XS here from lanceboysoutdoors.com, just bringing you a quick review of the Streamlight Siege. First things first, for the $40 that this thing costs, it is a little bit expensive for a lantern, but not really when you compare it to the full-size Coleman's or something like that that are either fluorescent or new LED lanterns. The size of this unit is dramatically smaller than any of the Coleman products, including the old fluorescents. It's about the size of my hand as a 6-foot male with average size hands. I can barely palm a basketball, so it stands very, very short. But it is a little bit heavy just because of the batteries and the fact that it is actually really well built. A lot of this does snap apart very easily, but it's very, very sturdy and very solid. In terms of attachment points, you have this handle, which also kind of has like a little hook on it, so if you were going to try to hook it on a tree branch or something like that, it would sustain, and it also makes a great carry handle. You also have this attachment point at the top that basically is like a carabiner, so you can snap it onto a rope or a branch or something like that and allow it to hang securely. You'll notice that the top is notched on both sides, so this hook, when it's not in use, can fold over in either direction, which it's not useful at all, but it really is going to kind of open up how flexible it is, because you're not going to have to worry about breaking off that clip if it forces to one side or the other. The other attachment point, the third attachment point, is on the bottom, so you can actually hang this lantern upside down and use it basically as a dome light inside of your tent. If you peel off this top piece, it just twists right off, and you have the dome which contains all of the LEDs. So you hang that upside down from this conveniently placed hook. That also has the same carabiner action as the top one, and you basically have a dome light for your tent. Snap this back on here. Basically everything is notched and grooved, so it only all goes on one way, including the battery component. As you can see, it is keyed, and this thing holds basically 3D batteries, and you don't have to worry about batteries going in the wrong direction and things like that because of the keyed basically receptacle for this bottom piece. Also very sturdy. This thing is very well built, as you would expect from the Streamlight. Let's talk a little bit about how it works. So it basically has 3 white functions, and then it also has a red function that you can switch over to almost immediately upon turning on the light. You just press and hold and it goes over to red. Red has 2 modes. It has just a solid red, and it also has an SOS red. Once you have the light turned on and let it sit for a moment, you actually have to turn it back off to cycle through to the different modes and the different settings, and obviously for white and red. And looking at the Streamline website, they're of the opinion that on the brightest setting, which is 340 lumens, this light will run for 30 hours, which is a really long time because this just puts out a ton of light. All 4 LEDs, they're C4 LEDs. I have a bunch of smaller flashlights that run on Cree C3 LEDs. Great bright lights. So on the brightest setting, they consider this to be 340 lumens. The medium setting is 175 lumens. We'll see if this camera will adapt here. And they anticipate that that'll run for 70 hours, so you're more than doubling it. And then on the lowest setting, it's basically 33 lumens, but it's still enough to play cards in a tent or something like that, and it'll run for almost 300 hours in this mode. If we were to look at the red setting, the red setting is only 10 lumens, but it does help you preserve your night vision. So if you're around a campfire, or if you're out varmint hunting, shooting coyotes, something like that, you would just keep it in this red mode, so it can still light up and you can see what you're doing, but it's not going to take your night vision away from your eyes. But it'll run for 235 hours like this. And if we were to put it into the SOS mode, which is the same, about 10 lumens as the other red, it actually is going to go for 430 hours, giving out an SOS signal if you find yourself in distress. One of the things that I wish they would have done a little bit differently is when the light is on, so is this this power button. It makes sense, so that way you're not trying to figure out where the power button is on this light, in the middle of the night, staring into a bright LED. But still, I feel like they could have extended the run times, probably not significantly, but a little bit, had that not been illuminated. All in all, for the $40 that these are going for, I think this is a great investment, really useful, and I really look forward to using it out in the field. Can't really think of any other drawbacks. I know some people would complain about the red settings and not being able to have an external switch, but as is life. You just got to look ahead a little bit and anticipate kind of what you're going to end up doing. And it's not like it's the end of the world if you do lose your night vision for a couple minutes. So great light, great product, as you would come to expect from Streamlight. And thanks for watching.